Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. It's been a very busy summer and we got chickens. We got pullets, so they're about 12 weeks old now, and we're working now on setting up the coop. And we've never had chickens before. I've never really dealt with chickens before, so there's quite a learning curve. And I'm going to show you how it's been going. Look at these poppies that just started blooming in the raised beds. They're kind of the first flowers, and we are prepping where we're going to be putting the coop right here. Currently, the chickens are in the barn, so I'm going to go deliver some food to them and introduce you. Sorry, it's actually kind of dark in here. Sorry, ladies. Because we're doing the site work right now for their coop, we're leaving them inside for right now, but I am bringing them some more food. So we got 5 hens all together, and we've had them for about a week, but it hasn't been the smoothest sailing because one of the hens came down with an infection. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, but I'll write it out. So they're all being treated for that because they had never been outside before we got them. They were in crates, like in a shed, sort of. Let's see if you can see them. That's not really the best shot of them, but so the especially sick hen is in her own crate over here. She's sort of on quarantine, and she really hasn't been drinking that much, which is how we're medicating them, is through the water. So I think we are going to try to get some water in her little beak because that's what's going to make her feel better. But yeah, they're just acclimating to the world, and we've been taking them in and out of the barn because we don't have the coop set up. Although we do have a coop, so I'll show you what it looks like. It's in the back of the truck right now. I'm starting to film some wedding content because it's July and I'm about 3 weeks out from the big day, which is, it's kind of crazy. And I'm gonna be honest, this has come together so quickly because people are in town and we really want a super small ceremony, and we're just kind of throwing it together. I'm hoping that my gardens are really going to pull through for me, but I can't pretend that this has been really organized. So I haven't timed everything out perfectly. My sea hollies and globe thistles aren't going to be timed perfectly, so I do want to harvest some of those to attempt to dry them so that in 3 weeks when we're having our ceremony, hopefully I can throw some of those into arrangements. The other benefit is that it's being hosted at my grandmother's house, and she's a huge gardener and she'll have lots of flowers. So I really have that as a fallback. She'll have so many hydrangeas and roses and things. So it's not all on me. I'm gonna have plenty. So let me show you what I'm doing to prep. These are my sea hollies, and they are very blue, and some of them are almost getting a little bit brown. So I'm not an expert. I've never dried these before, so I'm not sure if I should have harvested them earlier but I want to preserve that blue color. These globe thistles over here are still really green, so I'm gonna let those develop their color a little bit more before harvesting. What I saw is that if you cut it here, you might get a second shoot from the stem in the fall. So I'm gonna cut them to a few inches and then I'm gonna hang them up to dry. It's a pretty large amount of sea hollies. I'm hoping you can see the color a little better here in the sun. So I'm basically going to strip the branches of these leaves so that I can hang them upside down to dry. It's only been a few days since I harvested over the weekend, but these globe thistles have started to actually start blooming, and I don't really want that because they will fall apart, I think, when I dry them. So I'm going to harvest these. The ones down there haven't really started to turn blue. Like this is obviously, because it's blooming, it's pretty blue. But I still think that to be on the safe side, I should start harvesting them to dry. And I am wearing my gloves because these are true thistles. They're very, very spiky. And especially when it comes to stripping the leaves, I'm gonna want to be wearing gloves. I also got some lavender from a friend, so I'm going to dry this as well. Down here, you might not be able to see it. Honestly, the sea hollies are not really looking that great because they're kind of getting like fried, but it's a pretty low stakes situation, just our little elopement, and it really just matters what they look like from a distance. So I'm gonna move this rack away from the window. I was just trying to show you. Oh my gosh, I'm so sweaty. Okay, I need to get out of here immediately. Hello again. I have really missed filming. It's been a while since I've put out a video. It's just been a hectic couple of months, to be honest. We got married a little over a week ago, and it was just a super small, simple ceremony, immediate family, on a boat on the lake that my grandparents live on. And it was so nice. We really lucked out. The weather was beautiful and everything just went as smoothly as it could have gone, and it could not have been lovelier, and everyone happened to be in town, so it was just the perfect timing. And my sister went out on a paddleboard to take photos of the ceremony, and we got some really good photos. I'll put some in the video. The only little mishap was I had gotten vintage shoes to match my dress, and it must have been wet on the boat or something. I don't know, but the shoes like completely fell apart during the ceremony. But my cousin was there, and he like got my grandfather and they cobbled them back together for the reception, and so that was really special, actually, even though it was a mishap, because it was such a sort of whirlwind of a wedding. We put it together very quickly. I didn't really document very much. I had a vision of like filming a get ready with me on the wedding day and all this crazy stuff that just did not end up happening. It was important for me to just really be in the moment. And the only thing that I did film was about the dried flowers, the globe thistles and sea hollies, and they did get incorporated into table arrangements at the wedding. So that was really special to see, although I don't know that I have any really good photos of them. I think you're just gonna kind of have to take my word for it. A family friend put together our arrangements and also like the garlands on the side of the boat, and it was such a good time of year because the blue and the white hydrangeas are in bloom, and those were our colors, was blue and white, and we had like blue and white china. And again, it was super simple, could not have been lovelier, and it's really nice to know that part of my garden was present at the wedding. And then we've been away on our honeymoon. We went to North Carolina for a week. We just got back. It was really nice, really relaxing. It was super, super hot. And so we didn't really do too much. We went to like antique shops and little boutique stores. I got this hat at an antique store actually on our trip, and we just ate a lot at restaurants, ate a lot of seafood, and I was just having such a good time relaxing because Brett and I have never been on like a week-long vacation. We always have projects going on, and I guess we're both kind of homebodies, or just with animals and plants and all the things we have going on, it's hard to get away. I was having such a good time and I actually did not want to come home. But we ended the trip by going to Longwood Gardens, which if you're a garden lover, I really, really recommend the trip. It's the most beautiful place, I think. And if you have a garden, you can really get a sense of what a feat it is. So many beautiful gardens, and I left feeling so inspired with lots of pictures of plant tags and lots of goodies from the gift shop. And it was the perfect way to end the week because it actually left me feeling really excited about coming home and inspired and happy to see all of my flowers when I get home. And the chickens have been settling in. We had a nearby friend kind of come by and look after the chickens and water our plants and stuff. And getting the coop done though, I know I did not document it super in depth because it was such a challenge to get everything closed up before we had to leave. It was literally 30 minutes before we had to leave the night before our wedding that we finally got the chickens in the coop and got everything closed up. And we were nervous, like, are they really gonna go in the coop? Because they had no interest in it at all, and they were just kind of hiding out underneath in the shade. But when we got back last night, we got back late, and I was like, where are they? And they had nestled themselves up in the coop, put themselves to bed. So they're really happy with the space, and I will give you a little tour. I also need to deadhead my flowers, and hopefully I'll end up with some that I can bring into the house. So this is the coop tour. We put chicken wire underneath and rocks all along the border, so it's super, super secure. And if you can see in there, I'm not sure how well you can see, but there is a watermelon in there that we brought back from North Carolina. So they're very lucky to be getting like the most delicious watermelon. And then we have storage. We have storage for like the food and stuff in here. And we got the door on. We got a roof on. And when they are producing eggs, we'll be able to access it right here, the nesting box. So it's a good height as well. And I'll show you how the flowers are looking. So the globe amaranth are starting to bloom, and I did see some of these at Longwood too, so that was nice to see. And then lots of zinnias and straw flowers. Now I really like these pink ones. These yellow ones are very yellow. And then somehow I've ended up with like a white one over here. But I definitely need to go through and deadhead some of these zinnias. And these ones came out like super ruffly, which is interesting because I saved seeds last year, so I wasn't sure how they were going to come out. Some dahlias in bloom, which are really, really pretty. They're all red varieties, I think. Another red variety down here. And then more zinnias. So I'm gonna do a big cutback harvest. The bees just love them. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Even here, up north, my camera's cut out because it was just too hot. But this is my small harvest from this morning. There's more that I should deadhead, but these are the ones that I'm looking for bright yellow blooms because those will last the longest. Look at this crazy funky one. I like this. I'm not usually an orange girl, but it's really interesting the way that they've kind of hybridized amongst themselves. And all my dahlias are really small because I haven't been pinching them back as aggressively as I probably should be. But anyways, this is what I came home to, which is what I was hoping. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.